You hear that? If you make AI art or AI videos, you are literally a human trafficker and a pimp, right? I want nothing to do with you, you degenerates. Hey everyone, it's Invicta. Today, we've got a very interesting video, I'll say, from this gentleman who calls himself the Art Mentor. Now, the Art Mentor is a channel that primarily deals in helping hobbyists and aspiring professional artists with tips and tricks and general professional advice. And I want to say that I have watched his videos. This art is one of my hobbies, and I mean in the traditional and in the digital art sense, not in AI creation. I actually don't really do too much with AI, despite me reacting to AI videos and not having a problem with them in general. However, the Art Mentor, and many artists actually do, as those of you inside of the AI art space will know very well. And I've watched the video all the way through, so this isn't a reaction. This is going to be commentary, and I think that he raises some understandable points, and you can tell that this is a video that he is playing to his base to dunk on the AI art bros, is what it is. It's fundamentally a illogical video driven by dunking on your enemy rather than actually engaging in a discussion. And so we're going to treat it as such. I'm not going to pretend like this is some philosophical debate. I'm going to go into this with the same attitude as he does, and I'm not looking to start a fight with him, although, I mean, hey, punching up against 28k followers, I mean, hey, I could only help me out, but no, I'm not really trying to bait him into anything. I don't think he'll see this. If he does see it, big fan of his art help, not a big fan of this opinion. I think it goes too far in way too many places, but we'll see what happens, and you'll see it along with me. I'll end up editing out this video a little bit. As you can see, it's over 26 minutes long, and a 26-minute raw discussion about this, I mean, it would take over an hour, and my YouTube analytics has shown me that you guys tap out after about 4 minutes. So we're gonna do the best that we can here, but just know that if you want to see his full talking points, it will be linked to the description below. But he isn't making a cohesive argument. It's just mostly rattling off a list. So with that information, and now that I've bored, I don't know, 90% of the audience into clicking off, if you're still here and you don't have an interest in this, I've got videos that are a lot more lighthearted and more upbeat, and I'll link those as well inside the title cards. You should see them up in the top right, pop up around here and at the end of the video. If you just want to skip to the end of the video, I'll have it there as well. But yeah, so let's get into it.
Hey, our bros are coping so hard on this, and they actually believe it. Because today I'm going to go over the top 50 dumbest things that AI art bros say. And while you watch me draw this today, let's talk about why these make no sense, why they have no truth to them, and throughout this whole experience, let's share a good laugh together. When I was making this list, first off, big shout out to my community for helping me do all the research and compile all of these things we're going to go over and we're going to laugh at today, because somebody needs to say it, and I don't know why no one else has, and I just want to let you know, like, I am coming into this hard, fired up, with a big...
I'm going to tell you right now that he is only being disingenuous about nobody saying it. Everybody has said what he's about to say multiple times, but maybe not in the severity that he's saying it, as you'll see. Other than that, yeah, this is, like I said, this is mostly just a dunking video. We're not going to get any kind of high philosophy takes here.
Bottle of sass, and we really need to examine every single one of these. So let's go. Let's start off with number...
Which, by the way, is entirely fine, because in all fairness, I have seen the exact same attitude with the pro AI crowd against the artist crowd. So it's not like, you know, the artists are just saying, ooh, AI, and then the AI bros are coming around and being saints. No, both sides are slinging mud. So I'm not picking on him for that. All's fair.
One, this magical gem that all AI art bros love to say, cope. Wow, seriously? Maybe if you strung a couple other words together, you might have a thought. You might actually make what's called a sentence with a few more words attached to it. Might take you more seriously next time. Number two.
No, you won't.
This is a good one.
No, you won't.
Die. Wow, that's a big, foreboding, ominous statement, isn't it? Well, could you also say that to the Invicta CEO of AI that just stepped down because nobody likes it? Or how about the president of Microsoft, who also isn't that happy with it? Why don't you tell all these big-time CEOs to adapt or die, because nobody really likes this technology?
So there is some truth to this, and I'll point out what he's right about. So I work in IT, as my actual professional job, and there has been a problem that the industry recognizes, which is that CEOs primarily of businesses, small, medium, large businesses, and these mega businesses, they are trying to use AI in a way that is a solution looking for a problem. They don't actually need AI for their workflows, but they are trying to do so because they think that's what businesses need to do. Now, what this has caused is a misappropriation of and misuse of AI inside of businesses, and it has caused a lot of problems. Now, those who use AI effectively for problems that actually exist without a solution, which AI would be good at, do see overwhelmingly, like it's like a 92% return on investment. It's actually quite high, especially for an emerging technology. That being said, the AI that is being disparaged, I guess, by CEOs and CFOs is not the image and the video generation ones. Those are actually being used quite frequently inside of studios. And I mean, actually, quite a lot of recent AAA games have accidentally left in pre-production AI placeholders. So it is being used to great effect to stream up the initial prototyping and concepting. But as far as productivity AI goes, it's not accurate enough. With art and images and videos, close is fine. It really is. For the average consumer, and even for most people, just in general, not just average, but like 80% of consumers, close is fine. Close is not fine in financial spreadsheets. That's a lawsuit. Okay, so that's the problem that's been plaguing Microsoft and NVIDIA. It's office productivity AI, not image generation, not video.
And why don't they also stop berating us because their product sucks? And it's so lackluster, and you have to try and make us feel bad and tell us how we should act and how we should feel. Why don't you adapt?
No one likes Microsoft. I'm not even going to defend them.
Money on art. No, they don't. What they make money on, just to tell you the truth, is they make money on propaganda, and they also make money on selling courses and classes. There's such an extreme bubble of interest into this, but all these people that you think.
As someone who has spent over $5,000 in art tutorials and art lessons and have gotten one-on-one mentoring, I can tell you, that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Number 4, well, AI is everywhere. AI, it's all over the place. You can't get away from it. So is the plague, so is COVID, so is HIV. By that logic, just because something is around, we need to keep it around? Because
listen, the art mentor is a good artist, but he is a god-awful debater. I mean, this is not even, this is such a leap in logic. This is horrible. I understand that this is a dunk video, but come on, man. The history is that digital art is here to stay. AI is going to be here to stay. It isn't going anywhere, but neither is traditional art. Neither is digital art.
Whose future? Look, if you didn't make art before, you being a prompt junkie and a slopperator now is not going to all of a sudden propel you into a place where you are making art and people are going to notice you.
True. I actually agree with this. If you don't take seriously the fundamentals of what makes artwork appealing to see, the AI cannot carry you through that. You're just going to make slop. And as I said in my AI is an art video, most of AI generations are pure slop, unimaginative garbage. But I say that about modern art as well.
AI art is making everything more attainable. Okay, what AI video games have you played lately? What AI TV shows are you watching? What AI movies have you seen lately?
As I said already, game studios do use AI assets, and a lot of independent studios also, studios in the legal sense, they're LLCs. Yeah, there's a lot of people who use AI in video games. It's not appreciated, honestly, and I don't appreciate it either. If I see AI-generated assets being used inside of video games, that immediately signals downgrade in quality to me. And that's just how it is for me. You know, I'm not saying that you can't use AI in your video games, but if you show me a handcrafted texture and then an AI-generated texture, which one do you expect me to value more? The handcrafted one where it took time and effort by a person to make, or, you know, an AI-generated one which has corners cut? Yeah, it took time and effort, but it didn't take as much time and effort. And, you know, the handcraft stuff is still, it matters to me. You know, I love history. I love human craftsmanship. You know, that's just my value statement on it. There's people probably who don't care. As long as the product is good, which doesn't depend on who made it, just as long as it's good, they like it, and that's fine. That isn't me.
AI learns like humans do. Says who? You see, here's just the reality. If you actually look outside of what AI publishes, because they're not going to tell you this, it's literally just data. And why they do that is because it's a fantastic marketing term to actually get you suckered into thinking that this is more humane than it actually is. Number 8.
Okay, well, he was right for the wrong reasons. People do say that AI learns like humans do and that there's no difference between a human learning and an AI learning, and that it's fundamentally not true. It's an oversimplification, and I think it really comes out of the defensiveness of being attacked, and you're trying to defend your platform being AI. The tool that I use learns like you learned it, so, that's not a big deal. And it's not true. That factually, people and AI learn differently, and they produce different things. Humans produce art through a filter of preferences and biases. Weights can be changed. Human biases are unique to that human, and if they do change, they change over a dramatic amount of time, or for a reason, and that reason itself can be transferred into the art. It's a philosophical thing, but it's also an actual physiological thing as well. There is a difference. He is right on that. Totally wrong, though, on how he came about it.
Artists are just afraid of losing income. Not me, bro. Speak for yourself. And also for all these artists out here that are still making money, which there are still a substantial amount of. There's still,
but not as much as there used to be. And this is an actual real fear for up and coming and amateur / hobbyists who are looking for their first commissions. It is much harder to get those now. Semi-professionals and professionals, and then like these god tier artists like Wallop, for example, or Penguin 332, or Greg Rutowski, these guys have nothing to worry about. But it's the little Timmy who's trying to get his first 10 commissions. That dream is pretty much dead. The lemonade stands are shrinking. So he's just saying this to try to own the AI bros.
All of us, but beyond just the pursuit of money, which, by the way, AI art bros, like, who told you that? That's stupid. Art is not about the pursuit of payment. It's about the pursuit of your own pleasure and your own desire and your own...
Incorrect. Sorry, if you were a hobbyist and let's say you did IT as your primary job, then yeah, it's not a pursuit of money. But if you are primarily an artist, then yes, a substantial amount is trying to get money for your skill, and that's okay. But don't act like it's not true.
Innate creativity, which AI will never offer you nor reward you with. Number 9. Whenever they say, well, why pay an artist when I can just do this for free or next to free?
Fair.
Okay. You want to know why? Because nobody cares what you're doing. That's
true.
Why.
That's fine.
Nobody cares about any AI-based project.
That's not true.
Most people cancel it or wholly avoid it. So
not true.
Keep it up.
That only applies in massive projects. Usually, if it's a small-time project, people understand the limitations of financial and time resources. And so AI is a big time saver and money saver there. And so people understand it, even if they don't go out of their way to find it.
Number 10, AI is getting all the attention online. It's all the rave. Okay, well, good for you. You've successfully managed to capture all of the eyes, attention, and likes from teenagers, people wasting their time, and people pooping on the toilet with absolutely nothing else to do.
That is an awful way to say to your fans that you don't appreciate them. And you've got 100,000 followers on Twitter. 99,000 of them will never, ever commission something. 1,000 of them might commission something, and maybe only 3 of them commission it from you specifically. Most people just enjoy watching it. Those are the people who are scrolling. Why would you denigrate your fans just to try to dunk on somebody else? I don't get that.
AI artists are doing better than real artists. Who's a big name AI artist? And who on that list isn't also, again, shoving courses and classes down the throats of it?
It's Sky Freeman. Skybrows is pretty big. I mean, he's larger than you are, and he's not pushing courses. Not that they don't exist, it's just that your curated algorithm pushes them away from you because YouTube knows that you're not going to look at it.
Number 12, this is a goodie. When people say copyright shouldn't exist, this is literally what everybody who never makes anything, never owns anything, and never does anything with their life says.
I agree. Big agree.
In any case, protecting people's ideas or their inventions in life.
Absolutely.
And I just want to put this out there.
Just so you know, the whole IP shouldn't exist crowd, that also has almost a, if there was a Venn diagram of the anti-IP and artists, it would almost be a complete circle. These people are usually very far left, or at least moderate left. There's very few center and right-leaning artists. Trust me, I know.
Number 13, without AI, I could never start my business.
Who even said that? I've never heard that.
Other issues that you should attend to. Number 14, it's impossible to find an artist, or artists are so toxic.
Nobody has ever said it's hard to find artists. They have said they're toxic, and they have said that they take too long, which are all fair points for quite a few artists.
Number 15, AI art is art. Y'all, this is like the same argument as when monkeys make art, and people call it that. It's not. Literally, it's been researched, it's been really well examined.
Well, how much of it has to be done by a human? All of it? Because if it's all of it, then we're going to go down a pretty deep rabbit hole. And does it have to be an original idea, which he and I both know does not actually exist in reality, and that it's a conglomeration of ideas put in a way that is unique to the person. So while I agree that art is distinctly human, I disagree that art is fundamentally incapable of being created with the use of AI tools.
Number 16, there's no officials on what is art, and there's no officials on art. This is typically when AI art bros say that, there's just opinions on it. So
Well, okay, by the way, that is also true with artists. Like traditional and digital artists say this all the time. This is where the modern art stuff came from. The modern art degradation of the term of art started late 1700s. Okay, so this has been something that the decay of what art means is distinctly the fault of artists. It is not the fault of AI technology that got created roughly 2017. Okay, that modern art is our beast as artists. It is not AI tool enthusiasts' beast. Okay, that actually, if anything, AI is being used to create art that is more in line with the great masters than modern artists are. Even if they aren't creating it, even if it's 90% made with AI, it is still visually more appealing and more reflective of the human experience than 90,000th plain Pikachu fan art or the 200,000th furry porn.
if that logic comes full circle and you don't believe in any expert in anything too, then the next time that you get sick or you need a surgery, go ask the neighbor's dog for help. Just because you care about art and you still don't care about art because you're using AI,
they do care about art. They, for whatever reason, have chosen not to dedicate the time or the effort, or maybe they don't have the aptitude or the motor skills to create art in the traditional sense, and maybe AI tools breaks down that barrier. Okay, but to say that they don't care about art is fundamentally the most retarded thing I've heard. You can't say that. Why would anybody who doesn't care about something spend dozens of hours and hundreds of dollars attempting to do that thing? It's so intellectually dishonest.
does not mean that we're obsolete.
Good.
AI books are selling like crazy. Okay.
Are they?
But nobody cares. And how long do we think that this is really going to last?
Forever.
And I mean, honestly, like, is anyone winning awards? Are these things actually being recognized anywhere?
Yes.
Being adapted into Netflix documentaries and films?
Probably
No,
soon.
They are not. And I mean, you can sell your soul and be a dishonest person for $1, or, you can actually do something that may.
Here we go. This is, let's see, we are now 9 minutes in exactly. We are about to go down a deep rabbit hole. We get from some disingenuous dunks to some just flat out schizo comments from this guy. So, and I'll reiterate, respect him as an artist. I think his art is good. I have learned things from him. There's some things in here that he's about to say that is just absolutely unconscionable.
Number 19, slightly related to that, is that there are people making money with AI art for books and for writing books on that too. And well, on that note, like, I just want to put this out there. Like, I hear that human trafficking, selling drugs, pimps and prostitutes make pretty good money too.
You hear that? If you make AI art or AI videos, you are literally a human trafficker and a pimp. All right? I want nothing to do with you, you degenerates.
Does that mean we need to use unethical methods in order to sustain ourselves? Seems like the cost of being a slop operator is pretty high.
Yeah, you slop raiders, stop trafficking children.
Number 20, this is a good one. AI art is ethical. You're wrong. This is a totally ethical system. AI art is about as ethical as child labor or the human centipede.
Here we go. You see that? You guys just keep getting worse. Now we're on to child labor, so we're China now, and the human centipede, which if you don't know what that is, please seriously do not look that up.
And AI art bros don't know this because they don't actually care. They're just being entitled. There are 4 things that you cannot cause harm to. You cannot cause harm to physical, mental, financial, or interpersonal. In AI art, it violates all 4 of those. So no, it's objectively.
Okay, so AI art doesn't, the way that they trained AI was 100% unethical, and I will fight people about that. That is 100% true. And the companies who did that should be sued. They should be, because what they did is they completely stomped over IP law. So that is something that is a great injustice, and we will never see anything come of it.
AI art democratizes art. Oh, dang it. That's right.
It does.
You've never had access to this before. You are so right, little AI bro.
No, that's not exactly. Some people have this idea. I'm not dismissing the idea that somebody maybe is saying it in the way that he's about to describe, but how people probably mean that is that the learning art is a luxury hobby. Like I said, I spent over $5,000 on art, not to mention thousands of hours. I could not do that if I was poor. I couldn't. Now, there are exceptions to people being poor and making great art. That is the exception. Most people don't even have the time to get good at art because they're so worried about feeding themselves. So AI does democratize art in a way that didn't exist before. So it does and it doesn't. He's about to say something here that's pretty stupid, but that seems to be a theme.
Oh, but wait. Didn't you take art in elementary school? Did they offer it at your middle school? And I bet you didn't take it at high school either. It's been democratized for over a century.
That's probably because whenever you're in elementary school, you're already there for 8 hours. And then when you're in high school, most high schools don't have good art programs just to begin with. I mean, you're getting a kindergarten level teacher teaching high school art most of the time.
The thing that says democratized is theft. Number 22, artists are privileged.
Yeah.
What? If that's the case, why is there a heavy correlation between artists and mental health and being neuroatypical?
That's neuroatypical garbage. Anyways, as somebody, and I'm going to say the stupid line, as somebody who has ADHD, and I mean it is bad. I can literally zone out, and it's like I have dementia because my brain is going in so many different directions. I don't even know where I was left off. I've had a lot of problem in my professional life because of it. As somebody who has ADHD, and as somebody who has done art as a hobby, and I would like to eventually do commissions, doing art as a career, as a job, even as a side gig, is a privilege, is not a right. And the best case you can make for it not being a privilege is if you were on welfare, doing commission work and not reporting it as income, which I mean is unethical and theft, because I, who work and only have time to do art on the side, I'm paying taxes, a lot of taxes. And I mean, like, a lot of taxes. And so if I find out that you are doing what I would like to do, but you are using my tax money to subsidize it, and then you say that other people are immoral, pop you in the face, buddy.
I mean, AI users are entitled and privileged to go ahead and say whatever they think, but the reality is that they just dumped out of trying a long time ago. Don't call us privileged because you just decided to mask this thing that we call effort.
Some of that is true.
AI helped me realize my dreams. Did your AI therapist or your AI girlfriend help you come up with that one? Because your dreams are still trapped. Number 24.
That wasn't even, you didn't even address it. Yeah, so if your goal was to create a music video or an anime, what's more likely? Either A, you're a degenerate who doesn't care about anything, or B, you're just a regular person who doesn't have the money to hire a studio nor the time to learn art to a professional degree so you can do that for fun. or maybe it's just because your AI girlfriend tells you sweet lies. I don't know.
Community is so welcoming and so friendly. Is that why the entire community is just an entire grifting group? Is that why you all complain about prompt stealing?
I've never heard about prompt stealing.
Steal my techniques. I'm not going to be mad. Nobody actually cares about each other.
Steal my techniques. AI did that, and you're bitching about it on a 26-minute video, which, by the way, this is not your only one on AI.
They fake interest because they actually just want to learn their prompts. It's really just that simple. 25.
Okay.
Art is inevitable.
All 2 people who have done that, sure, buddy. All 2 people who have complained about prompt stealing or something. I don't know. The most welcoming group I've seen has been the AI art people for Skybrows and everybody else. And the digital art and traditional art communities, broadly speaking, are also very welcoming.
It's here to stay. Okay, well, I just want to put this into perspective. You're not Thanos. And you know who also thought that? Hitler thought the same thing about the Jews. Slave owners also thought that about slaves. And then discriminators against women and people of color said in
You misogynistic, racist grifter, you literal Nazi.
26, AI art is better than other digital artists. Really? Why does no one care about what you're making then? If you're going to put proof to that, then put some proof to what the actual outcome is.
If people didn't care, it wouldn't get to the point that you would make a video about it that you thought people would watch because it would be a dead topic.
Because nobody cares about it. 27, AI art keeps getting better.
It does, objectively.
Just see. And I love this veil that they try and throw over us like we can't see what's really up. But I just want to put out there, why not you? Why can't you get better too?
You can.
I got better too. Every other artist that didn't quit got.
You can get better, and you know, I would say to people who like making AI art and AI videos to try to learn how to do it yourself. Pick up a pen and try to do it yourself. And I'm not saying that as a way to say stop doing AI stuff. I mean, if you enjoy the creative process, what I found is that doing it with my own hands, at least partially, I know that I can create better images using AI. Doing it myself is a good feeling. So I would encourage people to try it.
Better as well. Why did you put so much faith in machine over human? And then
because there is immediate visible results with AI, and learning how to do art takes decades of self-criticism and mental deterioration, as you pointed out earlier in the video, to achieve. So a lot of people aren't up for that.
Let's just be honest. Over the last 3-4 years of this thing's existence, especially over the last 2 years, it's really not that great, and it continues to have a lot of the same limitations.
That's objectively wrong, and the only reason that he doesn't realize that he doesn't use the program, he doesn't actually look at people who are pushing the programs to their limits. And that's because he's not actually interested in it, and that's fine, but the reality is that he's wrong.
And that's never going to go away because its stolen training data cannot create more predictions about what art will be like in the next 20 years.
So this is an actual point that is a decent point to bring up, is that AI art programs stole pre-existing art that was both free use and proprietary. And now AI art makes up so much of the actual image space on the internet that it is ingesting AI art instead of human-made art, and it's creating a real issue for AI trainers. Real human art is the fuel for which AI uses to train to create AI-assisted art. And I'm not saying that you can't make real art. I think that you can. You're just threading a needle there.
Years, only based on right now. Number 28, it's only a placeholder for actual art later in the future for my project. Okay. If this is your case, have you ever heard of Fiverr? Or how about...
Okay, once again, that's retarded. Professional studios, which he would be happy to work for because he'd be getting a lot of money despite what he says about money, use AI placeholders in the concepting and pre-concepting phase. That is a literal industry standard at this point. This is not, and you don't have to be a professional artist to say that. You know, I have the ability to research articles put out by game studios. There are other content creators who are professional studio artists, and they tell you this. And game studios have been caught and had to apologize for leaving AI-generated placeholders in their AAA and AA games. Now, let's just be honest here.
Reddit, or Artistry, or VGen, or the other plethora of places that you can go.
By the way, whenever you're generating a placeholder for a large game or a project, if you paid someone $5 for each asset, which, by the way, nobody's charging $5, at minimum they're charging $25, that's going to add up to several thousands of dollars for assets that you're going to throw away anyways.
If you have a super cheap budget, I don't like the fact that some artists do sell their artwork for super cheap, and I literally tell them how to do better than that all over this channel.
Which is causing them to be priced out by AI, so congratulations to that. What bad advice to give them. You need to roll with the punches. If you are a low-tier artist, I'm not saying that you're bad, but you have to be honest with yourself. If you're a low-tier artist, you are directly competing with AI output. So that means that you have to be, one, better than people used to be at entry level, but also you have to work for cheaper. It is what it is. That's just how it is. Or the alternative, which is what I'm doing, don't take commissions until you're intermediate to advanced. Then you'll get clients. But you're not going to get clients if you're an entry-level artist pretty much ever in the future anymore, unless you are selling yourself for like pennies, which he's telling people not to do. So,
but if you did need that, there are plenty of places you can go. You just didn't. The "I'm not talented enough" speech. Oh my God. Listen, I just want to put this out there for you. Nobody is. Nobody is talented. There's no such thing as talented. I literally have written my dissertation on this for my doctoral program on this same exact topic.
I've written my dissertation on this for my doctoral program.
Okay, well, but he is right. Art is effort and time. It isn't just God-given. There are some people who learn and have a high aptitude, such as I believe it was Leonardo da Vinci. Or was it Picasso? I think it was actually Picasso who learned how to paint like the old masters by the age of 14. And that's the reason why he went into like a sort of an anti-classical style that I honestly hate. And it was sort of the precursor to modern art.
I studied thousands of articles, hundreds of books on this topic, and literally, like, there's no proof to this thing's existence. What it is a perception that you have of yourself.
Now, talent is just a term for aptitude. That's it. It does exist. But you don't get to be expert at something with aptitude and no effort and no practice.
And that you have of other people. And when you're
as somebody who is also college educated, very highly educated, I am so tired of dealing with these people, and I would highly recommend that unless you are trying to go into a STEM field, do not go to college. You will find the most insufferable people there.
Normal people that exhibited totally normal behaviors, but they just didn't give up. And they don't.
That's incorrect. It's not totally normal. Actually, it's very difficult to stay with something this difficult for 10 plus years, however long it takes you to get to an advanced level, which is what people consider to be like professional. So that is not common behavior. And that's why it's like 99.999%, and I just pulled that number out of nowhere, who try art, fail, and never go back to it. It is what it is. You can't say, though, that it's normal to be an artist or just to decide one day that you're going to do this for the rest of your life. It is, you are torturing yourself doing this. And that's also why these people, him included, are so angry about AI art. They sacrificed a lot to get to where they are at, and then you're putting out images that are disrupting their field, and the sacrifice you've put in is probably 2 weeks at most for a really big project, whereas it took them decades to get to where they're at, and it still takes them days, if not weeks, to put out something like a League of Legends Riot Grade splash art, which is actually pretty fast. I know people won't believe that, but it takes weeks to make a splash art. Like, if you look at the Jinx from League of Legends, her splash art, her artist said it was something like a month. Like, she worked on it for hours a day for over a month. And this is a very professional artist, but it's just rendered down to perfect details, lighting, all this stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of revisions being made. So they sacrifice a lot. Whenever you just sort of, in what their eyes are is a shortcut, it makes them resentful. So that's where all this comes from. And I'm not blaming them for that. I am blaming them for the hyperbolic statements.
Number 30, you put it up in a public space, they can do what they want. Let's examine this one. So if I can do whatever I want in public, then by that means you can go ahead and just live a real life Grand Theft Auto situation, right? Because it's out there in public. People park their cars in public and walk in public. You can just do what you want in public, right? Or how about this? If you send your kids to public school, can the schools do human testing experiments onto them?
Oh, Jesus.
That's what you would call the public domain.
No, that is, oh my God. This guy's economic policy is probably also either socialism or communism. I can just tell. This is the exact same type of almost there but not actual logic, if you will call it that pseudo-intellectuals employ often, and that's how you get relatively educated people to believe very stupid things. What people obviously mean is when you upload an image to the internet, you have inherently given up control of what happens to it. Even if it's not legal, you have to expect illegal things will be done with it. And that's how it is. Now, I think that companies that we know the address of should be fined for doing it, but I understand that the art that I upload to my art station is 100% on my hands at that point. That's it. You know, it's out there. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that you send Timmy to school and Rodrigo comes over and steals him and takes him to Argentina. It's not the same thing.
Isn't it? But somehow you think that us posting our artwork online gives people permission to do whatever they want with it? Y'all just sound so entitled. Number 30.
Yeah.
One is that AI art bros actually think that they made this. Number 32, I hear this all the time. AI art gave me a voice. Okay, so let me just get this straight. So you're basically Ursula from The Little Mermaid. You have to go ahead and steal other people's voices to change yours and to give you a voice? You have a voice. We all have a voice. Art gives you a voice that you already have. But if you steal others and call your own, just pick this up. You could have learned to draw too. You just didn't. Just be honest. It wasn't a priority for you to get better. And now,
Okay, if he had said that, if he had said, which he didn't, but if he had said it in a way that AI doesn't give you any more of a voice than what your own effort would have produced if you decided to put in the time yourself, then that would be true. And that's where I have probably a differing opinion than most of my viewers. I do believe that very sincerely. That being said, what people are saying is that I didn't put in 10 years. I didn't learn to draw when I was 18, and I'm now 30, and I don't have 12 years of experience under my belt. So whenever I try to draw something, it looks like garbage. It does not convey what I wanted it to convey. Therefore, it might as well not exist, is the idea. However, AI art can make it that way, and it can present my thoughts, approximately, but in a magnitude, multiple magnitudes better than what my own art could possibly do. That's also valid. It just is. You don't have to take it literally like, oh, you're Ursula.
Number 34. I got this one pretty recently. It's not my first time I've heard it though. And AI art bros will say, "You're all Nazis." Oh, really? That's a really curious analogy, friend, because who put...
Going back to earlier in the video, you called people who use AI Nazis. Just saying.
all of the artists into a concentration camp and then called it training data?
Oh, okay. So let me get this right. Microsoft, OpenAI, et al. Gathered every artist up into a concentration camp, killed between 6 million and 4 million, depending on what reports you want to use, and then that's what happened with AI. This goes beyond intellectual dishonesty. This gets into just extremely offensive comparisons. You don't take something like the Holocaust and you make it about training data for AI. You can still make art. You are free to do what you want to do. You did not get rounded up, put into a camp, tortured, and then killed. It's so ridiculous.
35. AI art is everywhere, so we just have to accept it.
Yes.
is also everywhere, but that doesn't mean that you need it in your lawn. It doesn't mean that you need it in your neighborhood. And that's why there are also places that you could go that you don't have to be a part of anymore, that you can free yourself from this. And look, if you're an artist like me,
which they do exist. There's places like Aura.app, which doesn't allow it. VGen doesn't allow it. There's places to go that doesn't have AI art. You don't have to be subject to it. It's just how it is. People don't want to see it, fine, they go there. So it's not a big deal.
Number 39 is when people say, you're only good because you use digital art. I'm confused. Where's the make it good button? And so I should be able to just go ahead and hit the make good button. Where's that make good button on there? All right.
Yeah, that's true. People do say that. And the transferable skills between digital art and traditional art just does not exist in the pipeline with AI art and traditional art. It's just what it is. I mean, you do have a point there.
Right. It doesn't exist. You know why? Because this is a learned skill. Number 42, we're starting to get personal here, and people have said to me, why can't you show a real painting during these videos? I'd like to see a real painting or a real artwork during these videos. Okay, well, let me just level with you. I don't have a huge studio space where I can make a big mess, or a room where I want that to be its sole function or purpose, and this is my choice.
Oh, okay. That's true. The reason I do digital art is because I don't want to have to bother with oil paints and stuff, although I love oil paints. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't have a canvas. That's my choice, though. And if I put in the effort, I could make a dedicated studio. I could afford to build one. I don't. And that's my choice. It's almost like people can say, I don't want to spend 10 years to get good at art. I just want to create art now that I enjoy, that I think other people will enjoy, and I'll post it. Sort of like it's their choice.
Number 44, I get this in almost every video. Somebody will say, but you're photo bashing. Ha ha ha. How can you talk about AI and you're photo bashing using photos? Okay, just so you know, all of the photos that I use, they're either user submitted or taken by me.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. By the way, I still hold this opinion. Whenever I got into digital art, I considered photo bashing to not be art. I still don't. I think that at most it can be used in concepting art and it's still concept art. But if you use it in your finished piece, sorry, I don't see it as actual art. And the idea that it's being user submitted, there are royalty-free images that are in training data, I promise you. So if that's the qualification, there you go.
And so when I say user submitted, I don't mean like the crap training stolen data that you use, AI art bros, or people that are misinformed about this process. I mean, I actually get them from user submitted websites where other artists upload their stuff for free or for a royalty. A lot of them are royalty free.
Like I said.
And so users put them up out of choice and not for my entitlement. That's the difference.
It is, you feel entitled to use it in your art because it's free. What do you mean? Maybe he's just using the word in a way that he approximately wanted to use it and I'm misunderstanding, but I don't actually get what he means here.
I get this one from, and shout out to the troll on Instagram that keeps on DMing me every single time I put out one of these videos to tell the truth about AI. And the last time that they sent me one of these, I literally told them, hey, thanks for telling me the stupidest thing that I've heard all day.
That's a good one. Did you tell your mother about that one? That's good. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you throw at me bounces back and sticks to you. Congratulations. Such a stupid, dorky comment. It's what these people are. I mean, look how smug he is. I actually have to move myself 1 second. Let me just move. I just noticed I've been covering him this entire time. That was not my intention. There he is. That's the face he's been making this entire time. I promise you. Here, let's watch it like this from now on.
Well, obviously, yeah. This whole thing you're watching me draw right here, I don't even know who made this. Obviously not me. Oh, wait, it was.
Oh, sick,
Number
dude.
46. Hey, I took all the clients. Sean, there's no more clients. It destroyed the art market. No, it only destroyed the cheap ones.
It only destroyed 80% of the market because everyone knows that in market dynamics, the top 20% get over 90% of the commissions. The commissions, the business, whatever you want to call it. That's a market constant.
One of the things I want to let you know too is that even expanding this outside of just like commissions and freelance work, there's a heavy anti-AR trend happening right now where brands are literally making their marketing to combat AI. Look at Audi, look at Kodak. They are literally making their marketing scheme anti-AI. Look at Pepsi.
Did you guys know that? I didn't. It almost seems like it's kind of an irrelevant background noise and not an actual trend.
Too, doing a great job versus that god-awful AI commercial that Coke put out, right?
You guys know what the commercial is? I don't.
This is not a coincidence. This is public opinion. I want to let you know this too. There are an insane amount of clients, our clients that you could work with that are out there looking for you that literally don't want to work or have anything to do with AI. You just got to find the ones that don't want to pay you.
This is the problem, though, is that a lot of the people who are affected by this don't have the skill level yet that is requisite to produce the artwork that a client who is not willing to do AI, but is willing to also pay money, is willing to accept as the output. It's just how it is. So when you say it's just getting rid of the cheap commissions, what you mean is it's getting rid of entry-level artists. Congratulations. I don't think that's the flex you think it is, you absolute buffoon.
Dirt cheap because they don't care. Number 47 is when people say that I don't care about anything except for from one side. Yes, you are correct. 100%. I say what I say and I do what I do, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm proud to have my voice. I'm proud to offer my opinion on this matter and in everything that I do. And listen, I can't please anybody. I'm not a taco. And on that note, everybody decides.
I hate tacos, by the way.
Decides what to believe and decides what to fight for. This is where I've chosen as my battleground on this topic.
All right, how about we tone it down a little bit on calling people human traffickers and literal Nazis for using AI. Maybe people will take you more seriously, all right?
And if you don't like it, that's your choice.
I choose not to like it.
Well, I hope that you go ahead and enjoy a long life of growing old with your AI girlfriend. Number 48.
She loves
you
me.
don't have an unbiased outlook. No, nobody does. What a stupid idea.
We just covered this.
There's literally no such thing as having an impartial view to anything in any situation. Listen, everybody just sprinkles biases and their prejudices into everything that they do and say.
That's not correct. What it means is that you can take both sides and say, okay, there is some validity, like what I've been doing. You know, you're not saying things that are incorrect the entire time. I do agree with quite a bit of it. But what I don't agree with is the demonstrably incorrect or outright false comments being made about, you're making fact assertions like nobody uses AI in professional sense, and that's completely untrue. It's a complete lie. I don't know if he knows that's a lie, or if he does know it's a lie and he's just saying it because he's trying to dunk on people and he doesn't think his audience is smart enough to go look it up themselves, or has the motivation to. I mean, there is a chance that he is saying this knowing that it's not actually true, but also knows that the people he's talking to don't actually care if it's true or not. They just want to be mad. So
unavoidable to go ahead and do this when voicing any type of opinion on any topic. Anybody that does, I just want to put it out there. I think it's wimpy. I think it's cowardice. And I would say I would respect people that actually voice their opinion. And look, if you don't like that approach, that's just not.
All right, fine. All right, I'll tag you in the video so you'll see my opinion. I'm not afraid to say what my opinion is. I'm not going to hide behind the fact that I'm a small channel and that you'll probably not see it otherwise. So, all right, there you go.
Next, you will be left behind if you don't use AI. Who said that? You're only hearing this from AI bros, grifters, propaganda specialists, fear-mongers, and big-time tech bros in Silicon Valley.
Okay, no, you're hearing it from a small group of AI artists who are mostly saying that to make you mad, or are coping about the fact that you can't just coast on AI and that's it. You do need some actual fundamental art ability. And I don't mean like you have to be able to hold a pencil. I mean like you actually need to know composition, lighting, that kind of stuff. And then the people trying to sell you the AI product, there isn't professional propagandists. I mean, they're all corporate. It's a comms department.
Here's the truth. Art transcends time, literally been around since the dawn of humanity. AI art, it's not going to be that way. Image generation is not going to happen in.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Once this is a genie that is not going to go back in the bottle. The only way that AI will stop making images, even if you don't want to call it art, the only way that AI images will cease to exist is if we go into a nuclear holocaust in which we are blasted back to the Stone Age and thereby forced back into a pre-AI civilization. Other than that, AI is here to stay. It's the next internet kind of thing. It's just going to become more pervasive. What's going to end up happening is that soon, very soon, everything will incorporate AI. It'll just be in degrees.
In that capacity. It's not going to be something that is coveted. Yes, some AI images were sold at one point, but that's because of its novelty. Novelty does not last, friend. And if you're thinking that this is somehow going to bring you to where you want to go or get you into the job that you want, into the position that you want, it's not. Because AI will never band-aid your flaws or the things that you're avoiding.
I mean, it could. You could become a, basically like a concept artist, but for videos, if you want to make AI videos for a big production company so that they can kind of see the vibe of stuff before it goes into production phase. So, you know, there will be jobs that are made of this. Will there be a lot of jobs? Probably not, because the ability for one person to create a multitude of AI video prompts is just super fast. So where you might have needed 40 concept artists to make one animated trailer, you now probably need, I don't know, a quarter of that, and then a sprinkling of people who know how to do AI stuff. So to speed along the process, you'll get to the same place about the same time, but way, way different budget.
Doing and learning. You have to go ahead and develop yourself, not update your software for your AI technology. And this kind of brings me into this topic too, which is sadly, it pains me when I hear this one. Artists will say, but AI stole my dreams, Sean. And the way I want to put this out here is, no, it did not. I understand what it did to you. I understand how it's affecting you, but it did not steal your dreams. So go ahead and help and encourage you. Go ahead and check out this video right here where it's going to help you get back on track. Thanks for watching this. If this helped you, share with someone that you know. See you next time.
All right. Well, that was certainly something. Now, if you want to see my opinions about what art is and why I believe that most AI art is not actually art and why most modern art is also not art, go ahead and check out the video called AI is Not Art. Link it in the description, and I'll also put it on a card somewhere in the top right probably, so you can go ahead and look at that. Other than that, thank you guys for sticking around. I don't know how long this video is going to be. The recording at this moment is an hour and 5 minutes long, an hour and 6 minutes now. Whatever it is, I know it's going to be a long one. If you're still here, thank you. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll get back to some more jovial stuff and some more brain dead content here coming up pretty soon. Thanks very much.